Another day, another dollar. How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Black Clover. I'm going to be talking about the Royal Knights arc. It's crazy. Like, we're getting close to the end of the show, and while that seems like, oh, we're super close then, no, like, the next arc is 67 episodes long. We still have a while to go, but where I'm at right now, the next episode I have to watch is episode 100, so it's been a long ride. It's generally been a long ride, but I've been enjoying it wholeheartedly. So I just can't wait to talk about it. But let me talk about the spoiler free stuff first, and then I'll get to the spoiler stuff. So, without further ado, let's begin. Spoiler free stuff. I'm gonna say my rating right now. This arc is an 8.5 out of 10. It really just kicked it into high gear as soon as I left the last arc, because the last arc I mentioned before, like I wasn't a fan of it as much as I wanted to be excited for it and how hyped up I heard it was, and also because I watched it before, so I knew it was gonna be crazy. It just didn't deliver for me. Whether that's me on a personal level or just I didn't like the arc or maybe I was burnt out, I don't know. But this arc for sure went crazy. And while it did have some slow points in the beginning, and I was getting really tired of some of the jokes that were being played, it went off. Like it genuinely went off around like the second half of the arc, or at the very least like 10 episodes into the arc. And the part that I found annoying really got a lot better when it kept going. I just had to give it a chance. And the chance that I gave it, it delivered. So this arc, definitely a return to form for me, because this arc holds a lot of importance in the overall narrative of this story, and it's just going to be interesting to see how the show and this manga is going to handle subsequent arcs going forward, because this arc feels integral, like really integral, and the next arc for it as well. I'm just I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. So yeah, let me go into the spoiler section. I'll see you guys there. So I'm sick, if you can hear. So I'm probably gonna keep this short, but I do want to get my opinions across as best as I can before I end the video. But this arc takes place immediately after the Witch Forest thing, and it's because it's the end of the year festival where they have all the Magic Knights groups gather together. They see who got the highest amount of stars, and they award people for their efforts. And we go there. We have some fun festival shenanigans. It was cute. It was nice. It was wholesome. We have Charlotte. We see her with Yami. We have Vanessa getting involved with those shenanigans. Asta getting involved as well. Noelle having some fun times. It's cool. It's really cool. While that's happening, Julius shows up. He's like, "Yo, it's time. We're gonna announce the blah 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 the awards." And so they all show up there. Everybody's there, or for the most part, everybody's there except for Charlotte and Yami. Asta and get awards for being like upstart rookies who really just got it going and are amazing right now. Like they're doing great things, and they get their praise. Even if they're commoners, they get their praise. You have Sacred Dawn, whatever they're called. They get first place in the amount of stars that they got, because crazy group, a lot of members, really high personnel, talented members. Then you have the Black Bulls who come in second, making do with the fact that they had negative stars in the beginning of the year, and now they got the craziest amount of stars. They got second place. Like, it's crazy. And everybody else is everybody else. Fergolion's still unconscious, so the Crimson Lions fell down. But, it was just a good way to display everybody's hard work. And the Black Bulls, they're something special. People sleep on them, but they're something special. And it's time for the rude awakening that people deserve, because the Black Bulls are gonna shake the magic world up forever, bro. They just don't know it. The festival ends. Asta and go downstairs to just chill, relax. They hear something going on, and they see Leopold getting scolded by a female, like Flegolian looking person. Turns out this is Mara Leona, aka the Crimson Lions, new leader. And the reason for that is because she's Fagolion's older sister. She's the strongest out of all the family that they have. And it's like, oh shoot, she's stronger than him. That's even crazier. So she gets a hold of Asta and uh, Leopold, that's his dude's name, and everybody, and they just leave. They go. Noelle, Yami, Charlotte, everybody's included. They go to this one volcano and they have to climb it. Asta manages to climb it. Everybody manages to climb it. Then they at the top is a hot spring, and then they get this nice hot springs episode. And even the narrator was just like, all right, well that's the end of the obligatory hot springs episode. So Back to the plot. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's funny. You know, it is what it is. After that hot spring episode, we get to the plot again, where there's a tournament going on, and this is where it started getting boring for me. I don't like tournament arcs that much. There's very few tournament arcs that I actually do enjoy, but even then, I just think that it doesn't really get good until the end of the arc. That's usually what I've seen. Whether you have like My Hero, a Tournament of Power, but I'm not a fan of tournament arcs. Is basically what I'm trying to say. It's not enjoyable for me. But this one turned it around for sure. Definitely turned it around. At the start, it wasn't that good for me. I didn't enjoy it. But then around like the second round or the end of the first round, things really started heating up. We see more characters come out, especially since it's like a team tournament arc. Yeah, teams of four. It's nice. It's enjoyable, especially since we get to see Zora or Zerx if you haven't seen his name yet. We get introduced to him, which is somebody like. By the way, I forgot to mention this is the arc that I stopped at. Like this entire arc was where I stopped watching Black Clover. I don't remember anything past this point. It's hard to tell where I stopped though because I remember the tournament. I do remember some of the end of it too. So it's like where did I stop? What do I remember or what do I not? What's new to me? And it's just it's weird. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember. I barely remember most of it, so it's still new to me. Didn't really get going into the second round basically, where we get some nice matchups. We get to see Finral fight his brother, his younger brother Longris. It was nice. It was a nice moment for Finral, but also a really bad moment for Longris because he almost killed him, and the Julius was using this as a way to see who the traitor was from the Midnight Suns, or at least like an unknowing traitor, and it was Longris. So once Finral is almost killed, everybody from the Black Bull steps in, and Asta now has to fight Longris because he won his fight, and so did Longris, and now they're in the semifinals. So they accelerated the semifinals. They fought, and it turned out to a draw. So that left bracket is done. Nobody's advancing from that left bracket. Then you go to the right bracket, and one of the captains from the Aqua Deer, Rel, he's here, and he wanted to participate because he wanted to join the Royal Knights. Turns out he didn't need to because we'll find out later. But his semifinal match is against Yuno. A really good fight. Really, really good fight. Like, the animation was insane. I don't know what happened. I don't know what crack Studio Parrot was on, but they sprinkled everything in it and they made a banger. It was awesome. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Like I thought Asta's fight was gonna be the best fight in the entire arc. Nope, not at all. Yuno's fight was the best one, and they made sure to deliver that point home. Like man, great fight, amazing fight. But yeah, Yuno won, and he basically was like, oh, he's the winner of the tournament. Excuse me. Noelle was on his team as well, so she won too. And the whole point wasn't who won, but it was who had a good showing in the tournament. And you're gonna choose 15 people to see who's gonna join the Royal Knights. And the Royal Knights are basically meant to take down the Midnight Suns, which is the second half of the arc because the tournament arc ends halfway through the arc. So we still have a long way to go. But the second half of the arc is basically like, oh, Asta's depressed because he didn't get to fight Yuno. But then Yami gives him a nice uplifting story about how Yami met Fargus, or Fargus, I think, which is the leader of the Sacred Dawn. And they're good friends because they have rivals. They have a rivalry. And this show likes to promote rivalry a lot. You have Asta and Asta, Yuno, and Leopold. You have Figolion and Nozel. You have Yami and Fargus, I think is his name. There's a bunch of rivals, and it's super cool. Like all those parallels, it reminds me a lot of Naruto and One Piece. Parallels in anime or just storytelling are a good way to get me invested because it shows that you pay attention to the other characters in your story and that they have their own lives. It's not just oh the main character, he's the only one that exists in this world. It shows care in storytelling, and I enjoy that. I really enjoy. Regardless, we have that story. It was a nice story. It cheers Asta up, and then Leona shows up, and she's just like, "Yo, this election, it's happening. Get over here." And so she grabs Noelle, Luck, and Asta, and she leaves. There was a fourth person that was supposed to come, but he didn't show up, and we probably know who it is. I was hoping it was Finral, but it wasn't, which sucks because Finral had a great showing. But they go to the entrance, not exam, but like ceremony, inauguration. There you go, inauguration. And Everybody's there, 15 people. Mimosa, Klaus, a bunch of the Sacred Dawn were there. It's no surprise because they're really good. Just a bunch of people. It was nice. But Zerx, or not Zerx, excuse me, Zora shows up, and we learned a lot about him. So it turns out that his father is actually was a magic knight from the Orca, the Purple Orca, but he died. He was not murdered by one of his own teammates, and he actually knew the future to be Wizard King, which is Julius. And so he left an impression on Julius, and it inspired Julius to become a better man. And because Zara, I think is his name, Zara, because Zara died, it influenced Zora to become a better man and just hunt down bad magic knights and royalty because they have no respect for common folk. They literally treat them like specks of dust, like trash. So he's tired of it. He's gonna be like Garo from One Punch Man and just hunt them down because you have no respect for me. Why should I respect you, right? But Asta managed to help him out and give him that like talking to that my friends are my power type talking, and now he's a better man. Still a trickster, still a prankster, but he's a cool guy. I really enjoy Zoro. He's awesome. But the inauguration's underway. Zoro's there as well now, and basically their goal is to siege the Midnight Sun's capital, domain, domain. And so they all get prepared. They have their own clothing for this because it's like a one-time mission, and they leave. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Asta got the short end of the stick because his dress was literally short. They ran out of fabric. And it's so toxic because this man is the main character. Why are they disrespecting him like this, bro? What did he do? He's just a guy who wants to become the Wizard King. What's wrong? Like, goodness. But they go to the Midnight Sun's domain and they're just raiding now. They're literally raiding. Mary Leona's just like, yo, I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. All you have to do is just do it. So come back alive with victory in hand. She leaves with Asta and Zora while everybody else is split into teams of four, and they're off. Meanwhile, back in the capital in the Clover Kingdom, you have Julius talking to Fargus, while Yami was actually summoned by Fargus to apologize, or for him to apologize to Yami because of what happened with Longris. And Yami's waiting in the capital, all that stuff. You have Vanessa who went off to find some stuff. You have Magna who went to go train, and you have Ghosh, Gray, and Gordon back in the hideout. Charmy, I forgot. Oh, she went hunting. She went hunting, so that's why she's not there. But it's just those three in the hideout, and three of the Midnight Suns, the people that did the raid on the capital like a long time ago in the arcs. They show up and they try to raid the Black Bulls hideout, and they're successful. They actually get what they wanted, but the Ghost and everybody managed to hold off the invaders. Like they while they did destroy the Black Bulls hideout, nobody died. They were trying to kill the people, the Black Bulls residents. So at least they didn't. At least they got away with their lives, or at the very least lived. We also find out that there's another Black Bulls resident who we didn't know about. So we have Zoro now as a new addition, and now we have Henry. Henry is the guy who shifts the house. And so he's been a long-standing member ever since the Black Bulls were founded. If anything, he might as well be the vice captain at this point. But he's the one shifting the house, and it's nice to reveal. It's a really cool reveal. Turns out that Austin knew about him. Nobody else knew about him, or at the very least they did. They just didn't know that he was actually a person. They thought he was a ghost because his hair's super long, and he has a disease where he can't really move his body well, so he has to suck mana from people around him. So he can't be around people. He can't contact or touch people. So he had to be locked away. But since Asta has no mana, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. Like people like Yami though can't handle it. So he comes out. He's like, "Yo, guys, how's it going? I'm Henry," and like he talks super slow, but he protects everybody. They all get to meet him. Cool character. I really like Henry. He's a nice guy. He's just a jolly old fella. But that's them. Now we go back to the midnight, or excuse me, to the capital, where Julius and Fargus are talking. And it turns out that Yami's suspicions are right. Fargus is actually licked because they have similar powers and similar bases. And the reason why they're the same person is not because they're the same person. It's because there's two souls in one body. You have Licht, who's literally in Fargus's body. Then you have Fargus himself, who is the person, like the actual person. So it wasn't a betrayal in a sense. It's more like what Julius and Yami felt was real. Like their friendship with him was real. But now Licht and Julius are fighting. Really cool fight. Probably my favorite fight in the entire arc. And it was it ended in tragedy. It ended in tragedy because Julius died protecting the Clover Kingdom. Had a huge spell protecting everybody from the huge spell that was about to kill everybody. And so he dies. Yami gets there too late because he realizes like something's going on, and he sees Fargus or Licht now leaving, and he goes to kill him. Doesn't work, and now that Licht has everything ready, he puts the last stone in the tablet, and this is where the elf resurrection begins. This is the despair of this arc. This reminds me of like Saba the Archipelago from One Piece. Like it's sad. It is really sad because Julius is dying, saying his wishes to Yami. You have everybody being turned into an elf, like mostly everybody, like Charlotte or Marks and Owen. Soul isn't turned into an elf. I think it's royalty actually. I think it might be. Well, no, it wouldn't make sense because Mimosa isn't one. But people get turned into elves, like hosts for elves that were massacred during the Licht massacre that happened all the way back then, and now they're fighting. They're fighting against the Clover Kingdom. It's crazy, like a literally crazy thing going on. Meanwhile, Marileona, uh, Asta, or actually no, excuse me, I should finish Yami. So Yami is fighting Charlotte because she started attacking him, and he sees Soul, who's her vice captain. So he's like, "Yo, take this guy, hide him somewhere, and save the citizens." She's like, "No," and then he's like, "Do it." And he's like, "Okay, I trust you." And he's like, "All right, I trust you to handle this." And so she leaves, and now he's dealing with Charlotte. She manages to get away because she used a huge spell, but he manages to live because he's Yami. He's him, literally built different, quote unquote. And so now he's trying to go after her, and Soul is trying to help the citizens. And then back to Asta and Marileona and Zora, we have them fighting Raya, who is the third Midnight Sun guy, who he's the only one left after Veto and Fauna got taken out. So Marileona's fighting him, beating him up actually, and then the Elf Resurrection happens where he gets brought back to his full strength. And now he's cracked. He's literally insane. And then five of the other people that were with everybody else got resurrected, and now they're fighting against Marileona, Austin, and Zora. So Mario or Leona's like, "Yo, get out of here!" And so she sends them flying away. And now Asta and Zora are like, "Bro, she's gonna die." And Zora's like, "All right, but like, she said that we have to run, so let's run. We can't really do anything." And Asta's like, "No, we're gonna win. We're gonna save her life." And so Marileona's fighting crazy explosive battle, but it's not enough because it's a 5v1. Like, what do you expect to happen? But also, she gave her all. Like, she genuinely gave her all and would have won if it wasn't a 5v1. Probably like a 2v1. She would have won too. It was sick, genuinely sick fight. But Asta comes back with Zora, and now they have crazy tech right now, like crazy, crazy tech, where they use trap magic to reflect the beam that they were gonna shoot at Marileona, that was gonna kill her, and they reflect it, and then they double the strength of it, and then they quadruple the strength of it. It's crazy, bro. It was such a cool idea, and so it manages to give them an opening to get out. And Raya actually manages to catch Asta before he leaves. And so Asta gives Leona to Zora. And he's like, "All right, bro, this is it. I'm going to go save everybody else. I'll be back." And then Zoro's like, "Dog, after all that talk that you said about not leaving her behind, you get left behind. You better not die because I'm going to kill you." And then he's like, "All right, bet." And so Asta gets taken away by Raya. I'll go back to them in a second. But next we have Fuegoleon. We get Fuegoleon's perspective and what happened. So Fuegoleon knew who Licht was. He saw Licht's true personality, and it was for Fargus. And that's why he got knocked out for so long, because Licht couldn't have him waking up and spilling the beans until the plan was ready. So Leopold is fighting against the vice captain of his squad. Everybody's getting murked because the elves have crazy mana thresholds, so they're just insane in terms of strength. But Leopold's trying his best. He was almost at a breakthrough, but he lost last second. And then for Goleon, the goat himself stands back up from the coma, from like literally like Kanye, like I'm back on my coma type stuff. It was awesome, bro. He stands back up, and now he has the salamander like he's Natsu, and now he's cracked. Like Fauna lost her salamander from when she stopped being an elf, and now Fuegoleon has it because it transferred over to him, and that's why he woke up. And so he's back up. His arm is just made out of fire now, the one that he lost, and he fights the vice captain, completely claps him, and now he's back in commission. Like he's ready. He's ready for the beef. So Fuegoleon's just here to protect the capital. So is Yami, and everything's going crazy. They have a chance. It's awesome. But Asta, back to Asta stuff. He gets taken to where Licht is in the middle of the thing. We see Yuno got turned into an elf. We see Klaus as well. Mimosa is being crucified for some reason. I don't know why, but she's not an elf, and Asta shows up just in the nick of time to save her. And so now that's where those two are. And the funny thing about this arc is that the next arc that comes after this actually started 3 episodes ago, episode 96, but this arc ends episode 99. So it kind of spilled over. It's weird to talk about, but I'm still gonna handle it the way I usually do. It's not like anything out of the ordinary. It's just having those arcs spill over so during the middle of each other. It's interesting. I've never seen that before. But yeah, that's the end of this arc, the Royal Knights arc. This arc was great, as I mentioned in the spoiler-free section. It was awesome. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Well, excuse me, I didn't enjoy it from start to finish. I enjoyed it from middle to finish. The beginning was a little slow, and I did enjoy the festival, but I didn't enjoy the beginning of the tournament because I just again I'm not a fan of tournament arcs. Not for me. But once it got going, it got going. Like it genuinely got going. So I enjoy it for the fullest, or for that at least. But yeah, MVP of this arc, definitely Julius. Shout out Julius. God rest his soul. He deserves better. And overall, I'm just super excited to see what happens next. Like because again, after what I saw in the Witch's Forest arc, I was a bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried that like maybe I'm not gonna have an arc as good as the Sea Temple arc ever again. But no, I'm not. I got it. I definitely got it. it an 8.5 is as close as to a 9 as I'm ever gonna get. So I'm perfectly fine with that. And hopefully, the show just keeps getting better and better. So we'll just wait and see. But yeah, it's gonna be it for me for now. Animation, best it's ever been. I forgot to mention that. Story, best it's ever been. Characters, could be better, but they're doing great. The backstories, moi, chef's kiss. It's crazy, surely crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here for now. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.